Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. Curry, one-on-one with Irving, puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown. The three, steps back, crossover, puts up a three. Rebound James. Second. It's over. It's over. Cleveland is a city of champions once again. The Cavaliers are NBA champions.
Cleveland! This is for you!
17-1, 9-0 at home, cooking.
Just humming, absolutely humming.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's The Block, the Shot, the Stop episode, our Cleveland Cavaliers Blue Wire podcast. I'm Tim Daniel. He's Skylar Webker. And man, what a fun night at Rocket Mortgage. The boys had a few days off, and you could tell that they needed it coming to first quarter because they were rolling. But Skylar, another win, 9-0 at home now.
Undefeated at home, which feels so good. And it's really a testament to the fans there. I mean, you were there this year. How I'm absolutely wild it gets there. Like, that's going to become key in a playoff series for sure.
I've been telling all my friends who, you know, we're 2 hours from Indy, so we'll go to Patriot games pretty often, my buddies and I. But I've been telling my friends, my guys, once those snows passed, let's go to a game in Cleveland just so you guys can see the atmosphere. I was like, it's incredible. Like, it really is my favorite place I've ever seen a basketball game. And mind you, I've been in Madison Square Garden for the Big East tournament, and I'm telling you that the Cleveland Cavaliers atmosphere is better.
Wow, that's some testament. And it's also helpful. Like, they put a ton of money into that stadium, a lot of renovations. Like, it's so cool to even just be in the stadium.
Dude, that new tunnel they built this year where it's got the screen around it, that's super cool, man. It's got a different theme every night. So every time you go, you see something new.
In front of the electronic tunnel, they have like pieces from that 2016 court on the wall with the trophies and everything. It's so fun.
That's so cool. General question about the area, and we'll get to the game here in a second, but you have me thinking now. When the inevitability comes, where in the world does the LeBron statue go? Because it's not necessarily like a statue area if you walk around the arena.
Yeah, there used to be open air parts, and then they enclosed all that with glass. So I kind of think the statue is inside the arena.
Yeah. So, because I don't know if you've been to the United Center. So, you know, obviously the Michael Jordan statue, it's outside. But when you walk into the gate right away, there's the Scottie Pippen statue. The thing about it, though, is it's not a statue, it's a bus. It looks like when you go to like the Pro Football Hall of Fame is what Scottie Pippen has. And I was like, guys, no wonder he hates you now. No wonder he has no interest in being around the Chicago Bulls, because you're like, look at this amazing Michael Jordan statue. And here's Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, I think it's definitely inside the glass, that big glass wall that they have kind of on display that you can see from the street. I think that's where it goes. Either that or the other side I don't know if they want to do it the other side of the stadium, because that's right in between the Guardian Stadium and the Q.
We were thinking opposite. I was actually thinking it would be if it was going to be outside.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, like you're thinking, but now that you say that, that makes a lot of sense.
I like Sydney's question. Where's TJ Maxx's bus going to go?
Yeah. And I'm going to get to him in a second about one thing particular. And this has kind of been a theme that Kevin and I talked about on NBA Weekly the other day. Just because I've been seeing a lot of things on the internet about him. But neither here nor there. So we're going to get to the game. We're going to reveal the contest winner live, just so you know I didn't cheat anybody out of it. And everything there as well. But let's go ahead and start. So like I said, the first quarter, come out guns blazing. You could tell that they were rested. They were feeling pretty good. Still down LeVert, still down Wade. But they got Merrill back. They got Isaac Okoro back tonight. And you could really see that even though Isaac Okoro is not your 26, 27-point game guy, you can really see where he was missed in those 2 previous games, specifically the Boston game, because he came in tonight and just picked up right again, doing the dirty work, playing really good physical defense. Had RJ Barrett a lot of the night, who came into this game on a tear. Was really, really good. And I thought did pretty well. Only had 8 points. But like I said, like anything you get offensively from Isaac Okoro, I feel is a bonus. And that's not me knocking him as an offensive player. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that they're so good offensively with their other guys that he's just the cherry on the top. He's like the icing on the cake. That's what you get from him. But just the fact that he's out there taking on the toughest wing guy every night. And I think he did pretty good against RJ Barrett for the most part.
That's where he impacts the game the most, is his lockdown defense. He's not letting, he's not letting Jason Tatum get 30. Jason Tatum, absolutely perennial superstar, on his way to be a Hall of Famer. But
there's a possibility Jason Tatum's going to get 30, but it's not going to be from not having to work for it.
Right. Isaac Okoro is going to keep that down to, let's say, 20, 22, whatever. And then, Cavs win that game. So I think that is the defense, stout defense that he brings, whether it's he's going up against a 5 or 1, he really can guard 1 through 5.
Yeah, he really can. And I think that was, just having him back, it feels like it's just kind of a puzzle, putting the puzzle back together a little bit in that sense.
Right.
Where, and I think he knows too that if he goes out there and just plays really physical on-ball defense, that offense is going to be fine. The team's going to score. And I think that's what's really, really nice about this team is everyone kind of understands their role, what they're supposed to do. So it was really nice to see him back. I thought that was huge for them. And kind of going around the starters like we normally do. Darius Garland obviously sat out the New Orleans game, came back tonight. Was pretty decent. So 16-6. Didn't have his greatest shooting night overall, but shot really well from 3. And just continues to facilitate the offense. And we've talked about this quite a bit already through the year, Skylar, but the jump he's made as a playmaker, it's just so unbelievable, man. And just his talent level already. We know he's such a gifted scorer, and we know that he's, who did I see the other day? I think it was Dwight Howard said that he is Kyrie light in the sense that he looks like he's Kyrie's little brother with how they play.
Yeah.
With the ball handling and the ability to finish under the rim and just the playmaking and the skill set. And I was like, never thought about it that way, but I can kind of see the comp.
Yeah, I definitely see the comp. The one thing I noticed with Toronto, how Toronto played this game, is they blitzed these guys from the word jump.
Yeah.
They
for
threw
sure.
traps. They blitzed these guys. They're trying to get the Cavs uncomfortable. And I think that's a good test because I think that's that happened a lot in the Boston game too. Mm-hmm. They got blitzed. They got uncomfortable. And that you could tell with the shooting numbers between Garland and Mitchell, particularly in those first 3 quarters. So I think more challenges that we get to overcome, getting blitzed, getting double teamed, getting just hacked at basically in the midcourt. I think that'll help boost, Garland's confidence in those situations. And pressure makes diamonds.
Yeah, that's right. He's got Trae Young coming up in a couple days, twice this week.
Yeah, back to back.
So, yeah,
not back to back, but 2 games in a row.
2 games in a row. A home and home, and one's a cup game, which we'll give a cup update too from Friday night because the Cavs were off as well in the episode today. But yeah, I think you make a great point there. The other thing too that's really jumps about what Toronto does is they don't just crash the boards; they full on just destroy the boards. All 5 dudes run to the rim, and I'm actually really impressed with that. And especially for Allen and Mobley to have the rebounding performance they do. They always are going to be really good rebounders. They're always going to find a way to rack up double-doubles, and they both did tonight. But the fact that those 2 managed to fend off 5-on-2 most of the night to get rebounds, it can kind of just tells you where they're at. And then I think, too, one other thing about Mobley tonight, I know it's kind of a pedestrian 14-11 for him for what we've seen this year. But some of the individual plays he made tonight were super impressive. So in the first quarter, he tips the ball off Scotty Barnes when he's guarding him man-to-man, by the way.
Yeah.
With his offhand, he tips the ball, takes on the fast break, finds Merrill for the 3. You're like, man, he's such a good passer. And the only thing I think he's missing from his game at this point, and this is just maturing. This is not me criticizing him as a player. when he figures out how to be a better ball handler, he is going to be Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, I think that is another thing that unlocks with him. How much of that is growing, just growing in the NBA, and how much of that is the Kenny Atkinson effect?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to come. I mean, LeBron wasn't a great ball handler his first 3 or 4 years of his career, and then you saw what he turned into, obviously. Not that he was ever doubted, but
what do you mean? People still doubt him.
Yeah, so dumb. So dumb.
People still think LeBron was a bust. 4 championships, 4 MVPs, and people still think he's not that good.
Man, you're about to start a whole new podcast. Oh boy. I haven't even been drinking tonight. So, but yeah, so Mobley 14-11 tonight. That play there really kind of stood out a lot. And then just the way that he's able, and we've talked a lot about the fact that Kenny Atkinson's using him as the trailer in the fast break. And I guess do we have to go full basketball like lingo here to explain? The trailer is so when you have the 2 wings running, the guy with the ball is behind them to kind of facilitate what's going to happen on the break. And Mobley is kind of in charge of that a lot in the fast break. And you saw a lot of that tonight where he can make the decision to, if they're going to try to run to the corners, can I get to the rim, or are they going to try to stop the ball and I'm going to have a guy open in the corner for a shot? And I think he's getting to the point where he's probably up there. He's not as good at it with it as Tatum or LeBron are, but I certainly think he's in that upper echelon group in the trailer role.
Yeah, no doubt. I think he becomes more dangerous when his 3-point shot becomes more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was 0 for 2 tonight, but I think last game, or maybe it was the Boston game, he hit 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So a little more consistency in that 3-point game. I think that makes him such a dynamic trailer because, like you said, he could be the open guy coming up behind the guards, pitch it back, drain a 3. I mean, those are momentum swinging type of plays.
Yeah, for sure. And for him, just kind of as he continues to elevate his game, it's that's just the next spot for him, and I think that's what's so cool. I want to make mention real quick. So we had a couple after the Celtics game. We did have a couple people pop in our comments, some Celtics fans, and hey, hats off. You can talk about the fact you guys won. Kudos, no issues at all. Thanks for hanging out in the comments. That was really cool of you. But they had disagreed with us that we thought Keita did a good job on Mobley, and that's fair. They get to watch Kate on a daily basis, and we don't. But the whole there was one comment, and I just said, "Hey, thanks for commenting about. We'll see what happens when Porzingis is back." Let's just relax. You guys won. Okay, yes, I understand. You're defending champs, and you won the game, and we're fine with that. But we don't have to poop talk, all right, guys?
Poop talk.
We're here to have some fun. This is a professional podcast, okay? We did not.
Also, this early in the season.
Yeah.
It's not like we're in the postseason or anything.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, I gave you guys kudos the whole episode. Talking about how great Tatum was the whole episode. Talking about how awesome Peyton Pritchard was.
Guys.
Yeah, talking about how awesome Peyton Pritchard was. It's like, why are you guys coming at me? All right, but I want to make sure we got out of there. So second quarter is kind of a little weird. Looks like it's kind of going back and forth. They closed the score a couple times. I'm shocked to say this because I did not love him coming out of college, but I'm starting to really become a believer in Grady Dick as an NBA player. He's had a really good year. I think that the way that Darko runs their offense is really, really beneficial to him. But I think what he's the way he's developing more and more and more. Yeah, Toronto's not very good right now. Because they're not supposed to be.
Right.
But what they're getting from RJ Barrett as he grows, what they're getting from Grady Dick, and obviously Scotty Barnes is a really, really good NBA player as well. And they're going to get better with guys like, eventually Jakob Poeltl's going to age out. We'll get to Jarrett Allen's dunk on him in a second because, oh my God, I about threw my phone.
I want to get there too.
I about threw my phone. But yeah, they're going to continue to get better with those guys. And when they get a legitimate point guard to go with those dudes, they're going to be fun.
I think they are a fun team. Because all of these players are buying in to Daric's system, and they play hard for him.
Yeah, they do.
So they're a group of young guys that play hard for their coach. I don't think they're far off in the sense of, a legitimate point guard and maybe a veteran leader. And they're probably humming probably about as good as let's say the Magic. I would think they're probably humming about as good as the Magic.
Ooh, buddy, you're talking to someone who absolutely loves the Magic.
Could be I don't think they're far off, man. I know I like RJ Barrett. I didn't like the fit of him in New York, but I like this fit in Toronto. I like Scotty Barnes. I like the attitude they're playing with. So I think, you get a veteran leader, maybe a center, and you get a good point guard with them. I'm hard to see a difference between them and how the Magic came up.
City brings up Quickly. I like Quickly a lot. I want this to be the team that gets Cooper Flag.
Do you want this one to be the team? That'd be fun.
Yeah, because next year rolling out Cooper Flag, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Davion Mitchell, Ochai Agbaji. That team's really, really fun to watch. That's a league pass team immediately.
Yeah, and Grady Dick.
And Quickly. Yeah, that's must watch. They might win 29 games that year, but that could be like what the Pistons are right now, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I wanted to say the Pistons, but then the Pistons season kind of took a turn after we gave them like good praise and good fortune
we gave them
on the year.
Flowers, and then they were like, "Well, we're actually still the Pistons." We're like, "Fine." That's like the Suns. I was like talking about how much I really like the Suns season. I was like, then I just like went to like quit, basically. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, back to the game in hand. So,
all right. So the play I want to call out is the Jarrett Allen block, get down to the other end, dunk on Pirtle with an and one. Woo!
Dude. So, when we have these conversations often about how we feel like this team needs a third big, what we're saying is that we just need that third big has to be someone who can not replicate what Allen and Mobley are doing, but play a very similar role in less minutes. And what we say by that is they need someone who can run the court. Yeah. And both those dudes have shown the ability throughout the year to do that, whether it's in the fast break or that. But that was absolutely incredible. That was a poster. That is going to be something that we're going to be talking about for a little while. And the fact that it's not our logo already is really disappointing. But that's also creative contract obligations. So just a freaking unbelievable play from him, man. And we've been seeing this all year where he just continues to just be really, really good. And what he did there was probably something you could talk about being arrested for murder for.
He did catch a body.
He caught a body.
Ends.
But
man,
should we get to this game?
And that was a good use of a trailer, by the way, because they
perfect
block out to Garland. Garland fed it back to Jarrett Allen and just finished him. And Mortal Kombat finished him.
And on that same point, this is what I'm talking about with Garland. We already knew he had a high basketball IQ, but those plays, okay, he's coming up, and I can just make sure I get him the ball, and he's going to finish every time is pretty awesome. Allen tonight was unreal. I mean, continues to have these games where we say, like, this is why he needs to be the starting center in the All-Star game for the East or whatever it is now with this 4-team.
Yeah, what's going on with that? This 4-team kind of.
I haven't had time to look at it, but I just do East versus West, okay? Like, let's just roll with it. And the game stinks. The game stinks. Like, we all know at this point the game stinks.
I mean, how many times are they going to try different stuff to get it to not stink, though?
They literally just last year went back to East versus West. And I get it. The West scored the East scored like 211 points, but
right.
Whatever. I mean, it's the All-Star game. So Allen tonight, 23 points, 13 boards, 10 of 14 from the floor, and was an absolute menace crashing the offensive glass with 6 offensive rebounds today.
Against a team that is real good at rebounding.
Yeah, my point earlier I made about just like all 5 guys crash the boards, and he's pulling rebounds down. So it's going to be awesome. So for me with him, I'm just at this point where we talk all the time about the Cavs. It's like we're running out of ways to say they won a game. We're running out of ways to say Jarrett Allen's been really good, and it's the best problem to have because he literally has been. So other than Jokic and Davis, you can sell me that he's been the 3rd best center in the league this year.
I would say besides there was one game where he like only got 1 shot. Outside
like
of that
4 points,
one game, he's been the most consistent center.
Yeah.
In the league. I mean,
I don't know, Davis has been pretty awesome.
Do what?
Davis has been pretty incredible all year. The Lakers
he has, but he got shut down when they came to Cleveland.
I think he still had 26 that night.
No, I'd have to look, but I remember him not having as great of a game. You know, he was on MVP caliber coming in.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, point aside is absolutely that he has been extremely consistent, and he's been the guy that, once again, we have to thank the Houston Rockets for being silly and saying, we don't really want Jarrett Allen.
You got to thank the Brooklyn Nets for saying, somebody please take this guy.
Yeah. We would have played DeAndre Jordan.
Wild.
Spida, 26 again.
Yeah. Yeah.
When do you think so? He's like 9th in MVP ladder right now on NBA.com. What is it going to take for him to be in the top 5? I don't really know what we're missing here. I mean, granted, we watch him every night, so we're seeing what he's doing every night. It's consistently 25 plus. It's consistently, he only had one assist tonight, but most nights he's been really, really good as far as a ball handler. And I know that he is not someone we're going to talk about as potentially like all defense, and that's fine. I don't have an issue with that conversation. But if you're watching Donovan Mitchell play defense right now, and you're not thinking that his defensive effort is ramped up and he's enthusiastic on the side of the floor, you're kidding yourself. He literally is locked. I mean, again, we're not expecting him to go out there and ISO on defense and guard the best guy. That's very few guys do that anymore as far as the best part of your team. But what we are getting from him is consistent engagement and very physical play. And that's all you can ask from him. And he's been awesome every night. So, yeah, Sydney says he's got to have a 40-plus point game. That's coming. I bet you one of these Hawks games, he's about to go brazy. He's going to go nuts.
He also had a 70-point game and basically got like a day of love out of it.
Got a free card in 2K, my team. Yeah.
I think he has bad fortune in the fact that he has great teammates. So he's not, has to take over this team and strap the team to his back on a nightly basis. I think he gets punished for having great teammates.
Sure. And I understand what you're saying. And I don't think you're wrong. But my argument to that is also that when LeBron won his MVPs with the Heat.
Yeah. I granted, those were 10 years ago at this point.
Sure. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Like,
if you're looking at who he's stacked up against now, I mean, outside of Murray, Jokic, he doesn't have that great of a team around him.
No.
Like, it's still the whole team strapped on Jokic's back. I'm trying to remember who else was in front of him in the race here. Tatum, which, again, like if Tatum fouls out or misses out, like that team changes dramatically. Where this Cavs team is so balanced, doesn't matter if Mitchell's on or off the floor, they're still good. Like they're still a good team.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. For sure. Luka's been hurt this week. I think he should be back in a couple of days though. But they're not very good. I mean, they haven't won a lot of games. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna say that I'm not sad about it. I don't know. I've just never been a big Luka guy. I've never denied his talent. He's not fun to watch for me. He's just not someone I really like. I don't flip through on League Pass and be like, "Oh, the Mavs are on." Like,
he's not fun on defense to watch.
Right, and like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't love the Celtics by any means, obviously, but I love watching Jason Tatum play basketball. He's awesome. He's incredible. But, that's neither here nor there. So, yeah, I think Mitchell deserves it. I do think in this Hawks game where, especially Friday, because Friday's a cup game, and it's a 2:00 afternoon game, so like a lot of people who are off work or be watching it.
Right.
Basketball's on all day that day on Black Friday, and I know the NFL is a game too. But something tells me that's going to be a Donovan Mitchell 2024-25 arrival party. I think he's going crazy that night.
Yeah.
That afternoon.
Yeah,
Just feels
I mean,
like it.
Especially when you're going up against the
Trae
firepower of Trae Young.
Yeah. And Dyson Daniels, who has been a stud. We'll get to the Hawks here in a second.
I got him on fantasy. He's been
You
awesome.
do? Yeah. Who'd you play in fantasy this week?
I'd have to. My phone's my camera. I can't look it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. You're actually kind of lucky. They didn't let me put Wemby in yesterday because the games had already started for the night. Yeah. So just missed it.
All of my players are hurt. I have Kawhi.
It's true. Yeah.
So hurt. Just everybody's hurt.
That's true. That is true. All right, let's get inside Jerome. TJ Maxx.
Our guy, TJ Maxx.
He's becoming like the Evan Mobley is awesome segment. It's becoming the TJ Maxx is awesome segment.
The great deals of TJ Maxx.
28 minutes tonight. 26 points. 6 assists. 4 steals. 4 made threes. And was once again lights out.
And a block.
And a block shot. I think at this point, it's pretty safe to say that he is at least in the top 3 in the 6th man of the year candidacy. I think for us, being the fact that we watch the Cavs on a nightly basis, we can definitely give an argument why we would put him number 1. But also, I think the national media is probably going to take a few weeks to catch on because that's what they do to Cleveland. If there's not a LeBron James,
especially when the other players in the conversation with him are in New York,
sure,
with Hart and I would probably say LA with Kincaid.
Yeah. I think he's going to end up being in the rookie of the year conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's definitely in the rookie of the year.
Him and Jared McCain probably have that. Jared McCain's the truth, man.
He is.
I love that kid. I love that kid. And he's hilarious.
I mean,
he's very funny.
If you're a Sixers fan, I know we're a Cavs podcast. We'll get back to it. But if you're a Sixers fan, like at what point do you cut ties with Embiid and let McCain and Maxey be your future?
Before the year, I would have said you're insane. But at this point, who knows? I mean, really, who knows? But I think we're kind of with him the way we were at the Reds this year, where it's like, yeah, the team's not very good, but Ellie De La Cruz did something crazy tonight. That's what the Sixers are at with Jared McCain. Sorry, Clevelanders.
Okay. So yes, eat little early to that conversation in that party, but I don't think that's a far conversation. I think that conversation.
I like the conversation. Quick. I'm all for the conversation for sure. But with Ty Jerome, so the thing I said I wanted to bring up is because I was looking through a lot of the Cavs message boards and Reddits and things like that this week while we had some downtime between games, and this conversation is coming up quite a bit about. Well, he's playing himself out of the Cavs being able to afford him next year. And the conversation that Kevin and I had a few weeks ago was we need to end the doom and gloom conversation. The doom and gloom conversation needs to end. Life is short. Let's enjoy what we have while we have it. And that's no guarantee he's not going to be back with the Cavs in 25-26. But, guys, if he's doing this on a night-to-night basis, this is great. And he'll earn whatever contract he gets, whether it's from the Cavs or any other team. But right now he's doing it for our team, and it's awesome. And he's going to go down in Cavs lore for this stretch. Hopefully he keeps doing it all year. So instead of being like, oh, well, it stinks he's not going to be here next year, have some fun. This is incredible. Every night. If you're watching the last two games at Rock and Mortgage, he has that place lit. And that place is already lit. And he's got it lit even more. More lit. Litter. No, that sounds like cat stuff.
Man. I mean, he's balling out. Two games back where he's nearing 30 a night, coming off of the bench.
Mm-hmm. Well, he started the other night, but yeah.
Yeah, he did start the other night. That's true. But Still, I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
You know, the Cavs will find a way. If they want to keep him, they will find a way to keep him. We are not the GM. We're not Kobe Altman, you know.
And Kobe always pulled off crazier things. He got Donovan Mitchell.
You got Donovan Mitchell. He got Jarrett Allen for Dante Exum. So
forever insane. Heck, I mean, even the way he got Lauri Markkanen, which I know is not with the Cavs anymore.
And Portland pick of to infinity for Markkanen. And I mean, Dante Exum for Jarrett Allen and Karis LeVert. Or no, it was Taurean Prince and Jarrett Allen for Dante Exum. And I don't think there were any picks attached. So it was Dante Exum
and
for Taurean Prince and Jarrett Allen.
Taurean Prince was kind of good that stretch of the year for the Cavs. It's like pretty decent.
He's doing good for LA, man.
He's in Milwaukee now,
or Milwaukee, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, let's see. So the trade, it was the Brooklyn Nets with Taurean Prince to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Nets traded Kirkus, the first round pick, which should be Tari Eason. Oh my God, they traded the pick that was Reed Shepherd to the Rockets in that trade. Oof. That was a nuts trade. So the Cavaliers traded Dante Exum and the pick the Bucks took with Marjon Beauchamp, cash considerations, and a 2024 second round pick this year, Tristan Newton. And I forgot that was the deal that the old Depot got sent to the Rockets. For his half year before he went to Miami. Just a weird giant trade. And then in August that year signed the multi-year deal, and then this August signed the extension. So what a shout out Kobe Altman for Magic. So what we're saying is don't count it out yet. And even if it ends up being the case, enjoy this because this is really special and this is really fun. And even if he does sign somewhere else, you're not going to hate him. You're going to love everything he brought the team. We're always going to remember, no matter how this season goes, we're always going to remember the 15-0 start. We always will. And no matter what happens from here, we're going to remember starting 9-0 at home and Kenny Atkinson's first year. And he's a huge part of that. So I choose to say, heck yeah, Ty Jerome. I hope you're a Cav forever. If you're not, that's okay too. This rules right now. We'll worry about the rest in July.
Before we hop off, we've been working with Basketball Reference.
Yes, this is important. Listen.
We've been working with Basketball Reference to get Milk removed from his nickname on Basketball Reference and get TJ Maxx added. They have replied. They said that they have TJ Maxx's growing traction. So everybody keep tweeting about TJ Maxx and confuse the retail store.
Yes. Tag TJ Maxx to tag TJ Maxx. All right. That's what we're getting at here. So yes, thank you for taking the initiative on that. That was really, really clever of you. I was very impressed. So that was very funny when you sent me that. I was cracking up. All right. Well, hey, before we get to the Hawks games, let's go ahead and make sure we do the giveaway here. So thank you all who did a part of it. Let me go ahead and share my screen for those of you who ended up watching on the YouTubes. Random.org. So these are the people who entered from Blue Sky and from all the other accounts. So let's say Skylar, for the sake of the ninth
added to the stage. Oh, there you
go.
The
ninth win of the year, we do 9 randomizers, and whoever has the top spot after 9 gets the card. Work for you?
Sounds good.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the final one. Good luck, everybody, and thank you guys for all the follows and everything. This has been awesome. We're gonna do more of these for sure. Cody from Blue Sky, Cody CC, you are the winner of the card. So congratulations, Cody. Thank you so much for hanging out. I will make sure I DM you tonight to get your email, get your info to send this to you. But Evan Mobley is going to Cody CC from Blue Sky. So thank you so much for that, man. Thank you so much for subscribing to the pod. I will be in touch. So I'm very, very excited. And we have more coming. We have more giveaways, more things coming. We want to make sure we're helping you all out with you guys helping us out for sure. So, all right, Sky, let's get to the Hawks games before we roll out of here.
Yeah.
So have the game on Wednesday. which is just the regular season game. And then on Friday is the NBA Cup. It is a home and home, Wednesday in Cleveland, Friday in Atlanta. And the Hawks have kind of been okay so far this year. They're 7-10, which, the East is kind of meh anyway.
They're starting to piece it together.
Yeah, they are third in the league in pace. They are 23rd in net rating, but opponents' points per game, they are third to last in the league. They gave up 120.5 points a game. And just in case you're wondering, for comparison's sakes, the 2024-2025 Cleveland Cavaliers went into tonight with the number 1 points per game offense in the league at 123.5. So
you're expecting to go over on whatever FanDuel or anybody puts out.
Yes, absolutely. So this is the Hawks team who has been okay. That's been better than I thought they would, but they've been out Cody Zeller for a bit. He's yet to play for Atlanta this year, so I can't imagine they're playing for him to be back. But have some really good players, man. Not just Trae Young, obviously, but we talked about Dyson Daniels, but Jalen Johnson is a kid I like a lot. I think he's had a lot of technical good years. Zachary Risache has been better than I thought he would be. So not great. I'm not blown away by him. He did have that 30-point game, which is cool. But
Clint Capella's been putting numbers up for him this year.
Yeah, I always like Capella. Capella's the guy that if he were not getting the contract he was getting, he would be the perfect third big for the Cavs. But we're obviously looking at the other Atlanta Hawks.
Okay. All right.
He's only played 9 games so far for that spot. Decent team, just can't stop a nosebleed and can't stop anyone from scoring. Has no rim protection, and realistically, probably. I mean, they did have that Celtics win, and their offense is pretty good. They are 10th in the league in points per game, and their offensive rating is 22nd in the league. So these are games that if the Cavs show up, I'm not saying they're just going to roll the ball out and win, but you feel pretty confident they can get at least one, if not both.
Yeah, this is a Hawks team that is built on offense only.
Mm-hmm.
The roster. We went through the starters, but then off the bench, DeAndre Hunter, offensive player. Bogdanovich, offensive player. Matthews.
Garrison Matthews?
Yeah, Matthews is not a person I should put on there. I mean, they have Larry Nance not even putting minutes in. And he would probably be their second best defender on the team, maybe behind Clint Capella.
Ooh, that's probably fair. Not great, but fair. So yeah, for sure, man. And then they just lost to the Bulls on Friday in a cup game. So also there, you have a chance to kind of make up some ground. So right now, the way that
should
the
be
group
tied in the cup.
So they're half a game because they haven't played enough games yet. So Atlanta and Boston are both at 2-1. Atlanta's the tiebreaker for beating Boston, but Boston has the point differential advantage. Cleveland still has a total point differential advantage in the group at plus 15, but just haven't played enough games yet. So win loss, then point differentials what decides it.
Right.
So Cavs to get they still have to play Atlanta and Washington in group play. And so they still have a chance to kind of get to there. But after the Bulls decided to beat the Hawks on Friday and the Celtics beat the Wizards, who have no shot of catching up whatsoever, that puts the Cavs in a situation where Friday they can really make some space up. And then, of course, get the game win on Wednesday at home, keep your home undefeated streak, and then Friday win your cup game, and everyone's happy.
When do because you're much more knowledgeable about the cup process than I am, but how many games are left in this round?
Everyone will play each other once. So I think every team now, I think the Cavs have 2 more. So it'll be 2 more weeks. And then I think the Bulls.
1 more week. Well, after
Friday,
the Hawks, 1 more week.
Yeah. And then, they have the Wednesday. They have the Wednesday after they have the Wizards. So at that point is when they'll kind of look at everything. You got to probably hope the Celtics lose 1 more, which I don't know if they will because they have to play the Bulls. So gotta hope the Bulls are hot that night and have one of those Bulls games where they go crazy. That's the Cavs' way of winning the group. But the wild card's still in play. It's just there's a lot of teams that are all undefeated, haven't played each other yet in their group plays. So that's what you're kind of looking for the Cavs there as well. But yeah, that is me being a total nerd and knowing way too much about this thing, and loving it. Absolutely love it.
It's fun.
It's super fun. My Grace's uncle called me the other day. He's like, I don't understand this and I don't like it. He's like, what's the point of it? It's like, well, we're talking about it, aren't we?
We're talking about it. I mean, it's another level of competition. It's the game within the game.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was super fun that first cup game that we had, where even though it was into garbage time, like the starters are still out there, like
love it,
trying to get that point differential. Which the Cavs, by the way, lead the league in point differential.
Yep,
I had to look it up right now, but they lead the league, not even just outside of the cup. They lead the league in point differential.
This goes back to my point I always say, but I'm not the biggest fan of Alabama football. I will never root for them, but I'm not going to sit here and be like mad at them that they win all the time. I guess they didn't win much last night, but my point is always that if you don't like them running the score up on you, stop them.
Yeah.
And if you can't, you have nothing to say.
Yeah, can't bitch.
Right, exactly. All right, man. Well, before we get off the rails here, anything you want to pitch in before we get ready for Wednesday?
Oh, I did want to shout out this past week, Jarrett Allen did his community event that he does every year with the Cavs, the Meals and Math event, where he takes local kids to the grocery store to get meals together for Thanksgiving. He gives them a budget and they kind of go through the store with their budget and giant calculators and just kind of teaching that financial literacy. He's such a great guy. He's a great guy in the community, and just wanted to highlight his community work that he does this week. This is the 8th year in a row that he's done it. So
that rules.
Yeah.
Not just a great basketball player, but a great person. And I think that's what we kind of say about this Cavs team is they're just all so easy to root for. So yeah, that's a great thing to hear. So thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it, man. But
absolutely.
I think Wednesday, Kevin's back. So we'll have the three of us as our Thanksgiving Eve show, doing the post game of the first Hawks game and previewing the next Hawks game. So we'll get to that. This is our longest episode we've ever done. So we're probably going to go ahead and roll here. Thank you guys so much. Please continue to follow us on your apps and their YouTubes and everything like that. It helps us out a ton. We will be back here on Wednesday night after the first Hawks game. On behalf of Skyler, on behalf of Kevin, this is Tim Daniel. Have a good night, and we'll see you Wednesday.
Go Cavs.